Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a brand new Pokemon in the world of Pokemon Go, level 50, fully maxed out Gholdengo. Now, Gholdengo evolves from Gimmighoul, and you need 999 coins. Best way to do it is going to be to use Golden Lures. So, using a lot of Golden Lures and Mega Gengar while I did my Gimmighoul walks, I was able to get the coins and XLs needed to power it all the way up to level 50. And since it's at level 50, I figured I may as well test it out in some practice battles with members of my Discord. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out level 50 Gholdengo in action in the Master League. Hopping to the first match, picking up a positive lead, Gholdengo into Zacian. Gholdengo is able to win all even shield scenarios versus quick attack Zacian. I'm going to fire off the Shadow Ball on what I'm hoping is a CMP tied to a close combat, but my opponent goes for the play rough bait, reading my play, not wanting to lower their defense. Very nice read by my opponent. Shadow Ball is going to land. Opponent going to be firing off a move. I tank whatever they throw here. I'm actually going to bank my Shadow Ball for later, send in Kyurem. My opponent is now going to respond with Dialga. Not what I was hoping to see, but Kyurem with an energy lead is going to fire off Glaciate, get some damage, and importantly, get that guaranteed attack drop. My opponent not going to be able to farm down. They will be forced to fire off an Iron Head, and them burning their energy honestly works out very nicely for me. I can now send in Dragonite. Dragonite should be able to get a very nice farm down and leave with a lot of energy to pressure whatever my opponent has in the back. Opponent, they're going to be waiting their timer here, and they send in Zacian, so it looks like whatever they have in back does not want to see a Dragonite with an energy advantage. I fire off the Dragon Claw. I'm able to pressure a shield from my opponent, and from here, I can just match shields and farm down, and I'll have a ton of energy for whatever my opponent has in the back, and it's a Shadow Mewtwo. Dragonite has a lot of energy here, going to fire off the Dragon Claw. This is going to hurt. Dragon Claw gets the shield, and the combo play back into Gholdengo. The new Golden Boy takes down Shadow Mewtwo. In comes Zacian. It gets taken out as well, and that is a good game. Favorable lead in the next match, Gholdengo going up against Melmetal. Gholdengo's Ghost Steel typing is incredibly cool. Since Ghost is going to double resist fighting attacks, that means that Gholdengo is going to resist any of Melmetal's standard moves. Whether it's Superpower, whether they end up going for Rock Slide, or even double Iron Bash, Gholdengo is able to resist them all. Opponent now going to send in Reshiram, and I'm going straight for the Focus Blast here. Focus Blast, big damage onto the Reshiram, and now I can send in Dragonite. They'll make it to a move. This is not enough for a Draco Meteor, so I'm going to let it through. It is just a Crunch. Unfortunately, my defense does get debuffed by the Crunch. And now my opponent has a decision. Are they going to send back in the Melmetal? They are not. They're going to send in Rayquaza. Rayquaza will be met with the Dragon Claw here. Dragon Claw would do a ton of damage. Rayquaza, a very powerful pick, but a very glassy one at that. And now I can just send in Kyurem. Kyurem will be able to tank a Breaking Swipe. I thought about this shield for a while, but realized, honestly, I should probably just save shields because Melmetal has a lot of energy here. I farm up, opponent goes for the catch, and I send in Gholdengo. I should be able to tank a Superpower or a Rock Slide here, but my opponent is running Flash Cannon. That does quite a bit of damage. I get farmed down, and suddenly, things are looking kind of scary here. I should still have a win con though. What I'm going to need to do is fire off the Glaciate, and then basically just farm up to back-to-back moves. One Dragon Claw to KO the Melmetal and one to get rid of Rayquaza. My opponent will fire off the Flash Cannon. They do not want to lower their defense, and I make it to the back-to-back Dragon Claws. Dragon Claw not quite going to KO here. This is going to be close. Melmetal cannot switch out with a sliver of HP. I leave with the Dragon Claw loaded. That takes out Rayquaza, and that's a good game. Moving into the next match, leading Gholdengo into Giratina Origin. I have two better responses in the back, so I save switch into Kyurem, and my opponent responds with a Buzzwole. Not what my Kyurem was hoping to see. I'm going to fire off this Glaciate. Glaciate will, of course, get the attack drop, and at this point, I'm not going to commit shields. I'm just going to let this go, because I have a hard wall to Buzzwole available in Gholdengo. My opponent goes for a Lunge Bait, and that actually allows me to reach a Dragon Claw and potentially force a shield if my opponent wants switch. They commit a shield, and that is incredibly good news for me, as now I can send in Gholdengo, and I'm going to fully commit to a farm down here. Golden Go, Hex, doesn't do a ton of damage, but honestly, in this situation, that's actually good for me, because I'm going to be able to leave with a ton of energy to threaten whatever my opponent decides to send in. Buzzwole fires off the superpower, Golden Go gets the farm down. If they send back in the Giratina, which they do, I'm going straight for the Shadow Ball. This is debuffed by the lunge, but it's still going to hurt. In comes Dragonite in the back. My opponent has Genesect. Now, Genesect, of course, can learn Ice-type Technoblast. Definitely not a move I want to let through. I commit the shield. Opponent full sends the Technoblast, knowing their win condition, and at this point, this game should be won. I can fire off the Superpower. Superpower is going to land, nearly KOing the Genesect. I will fire off a Dragon Claw at the last second just to deny any residual energy. Dragon Claw is going to KO. Opponent going to send in the Giratina. Giratina will make it to the Shadow Ball. I am debuffed here. Shadow Ball lands. Send in Golden Go. Golden Go farms down. And that's game over. Picking up an interesting lead in the next match, Golden Go versus Zekrom. Now, Golden Go, of course, is going to be resisting the Dragon Breath thanks to the Steel typing, but unfortunately, Zekrom does have access to Crunch, which would hit for super effective damage. I'm going to respect the Crunch with a shield here. Opponent does go for the Crunch. They do not get a debuff, which is quite nice. I'm going to return fire with a Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is going to get the shield. I'm going to pivot into Kyurem. Opponent now sends in Metagross. Not what I was hoping to see with Kyurem. At the very least, I am able to bait out the Steel type, as Dragonite doesn't have the most comfortable matchup against Metagross either, but still not a fabulous spot to be in. Opponent massively overfarms, and they're going to fire off the Meteor Mash. Meteor Mash will get the KO, and now I'm going to send in Golden Go. Golden Go farming up energy. Opponent going to fire off the Earthquake. I'm going to commit the shield and try and commit to the farm down here. It's going to be risky. I'm going to end up going over 100 energy, but I'm able to leave at max energy to threaten whatever my opponent decides to send in, and they send in Kyogre. I'm firing off the Shadow Ball here. Shadow Ball is able to land onto Kyogre. Golden Go already at Shadow Ball number 2. Let's apply some pressure. Shadow Ball lands. Quick switch into Dragonite, and Dragonite gets the snipe. In comes Zekrom. Zekrom farming up. Zekrom will be firing off a charge move. At this point, I think I don't need to throw a charge move. I think I just need to commit to the fast move farm down. I get as many Dragon Breaths as possible. In comes Golden Go. Golden Go just cannot farm down Zekrom with a single HP. KOs the Golden Go as we lose a heartbreaking game. Tricky lead in the next match, Golden Go going up against Ursaluna. I'm going to save switch into Kyurem. Even though I do double resist the tackles, I have to farm all the way up to a Focus Blast to do any meaningful damage. So to me, it just feels a lot better to switch out. I'm able to land the Glaciate. That does quite a bit of damage. Even debuffed, high horsepower is going to hurt, so I do commit the shield. Ursaluna now going to switch out as the opponent sends in Reshiram. I'm going to fire off Glaciate here. I'm hoping to debuff their attack with the Glaciate and make it to another Dragon Claw, but as you're gonna see, I can't quite get there as I end up falling just short. I don't really want to send in Golden Go to get Fusion Flared, so I'm gonna send in Dragonite. I will respect the potential Draco Meteor here. Opponent, they're running Crunch, they're not running Draco Meteor. That is definitely unfortunate. In the back, my opponent has Yveltal. Yveltal, not what I was hoping to see, as it absolutely crushes Golden Go. I fire off the Dragon Claw. Opponent knows Yveltal's the win con. They do commit the shield, and now it shields down. They have so much energy here. Dragon Claw is going to land. Opponent fires off the Dark Pulse, and they're one Snarl away from another Dark Pulse. So I'm going to farm up, switch, and catch the Dark Pulse onto Golden Go. Let's go. Golden Go able to absorb that energy. Opponent sends in Ursaluna, and at this point, I just have to wait for them to throw, because all I need to do is get farm on my Dragonite. They go for the Thunder Punch. That actually doesn't KO. And at the last possible second, I decide to fire off the Shadow Ball. I recognize their Yveltal doesn't have energy, so I should be able to win this no matter what. Yveltal cannot make it to a move. Dragonite, Dragon Claw takes care of Yveltal as we escape with a very narrow win. Hopping into the next match, leading Golden Go into Mewtwo. Now this is a matchup where at first you may think it's very good for Golden Go, but this is where Psycho Cut on Mewtwo is just incredibly deadly, because Mewtwo is able to outpace in this matchup. Golden Go can win the Zero Shield. Golden Go does tank a Shadow Ball with a sliver of HP and deliver a killing blow with a Shadow Ball, but if you play out a shielded scenario, unfortunately it's not going to go well for you as Golden Go. So I definitely misplayed in this game. I should have switched into Kyurem right away, because because honestly, I wasn't familiar with the fact that that is not a good spot for Gholdengo to be in. I send in Kyurem, it's met with Dialga, perfect counting by my opponent, firing off the Iron Head before I'm able to get to a move. I'm going to send in Gholdengo looking for the Hex farm down, and as you're going to see, Hex, not the best move ever if you're trying to farm something down. Opponent makes it to the Draco Meteor, that KOs, and at this point, Dragonite doesn't really have much of a hope of winning this game because Mewtwo left with double moves loaded. Mewtwo fires off the Size Direct, I have to tank one, so I am going to let that through. They're going to fire off another charge move, I will commit the shield. At this point, I don't even know what it could be in the back for me to win. Not a Landorus, as Landorus can definitely win. I'm not going to throw my charge moves, I know the game's done. Opponent will easily make it to a Stone Edge, KO the Dragonite, and get the win. We've got some spice in the next match. Gholdengo going up against Landorus. I'm going to stay in this lead to start and just go straight for the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball, of course, is going to do a ton of damage here. There's not a lot in the Master League meta that wants to take a same type attack bonus Shadow Ball. I'm going to grab early shield advantage, save switch into Kyurem, and I believe this can learn Focus Blast, so I commit the shield, and I'm very happy I did, as it does, in fact, end up being a Focus Blast. Opponent now going to respond with a Smackdown Tyranitar. Definitely happy to bait this out, as those Smackdowns would have absolutely shredded Dragonite. I fire off a Dragon Claw here. Dragon Claw, not quite enough to KO, as Tyranitar will fire off a charge move. T-Tar goes for the Stone Edge there, and I'm going to send in Gholdengo and actually go for the Hex down here. I am resisting the Smackdowns. This way, I leave with a lot of energy, and it's a Giratina in the back, so Gholdengo with energy looks very powerful once that Tyranitar is out of the way. Opponent going to send back in Thundurus. Thundurus will be met with a Dragon Claw here from Dragonite. Dragonite looking to put pressure on the final shield, gets the final shield from Thundurus, and at this point, I honestly don't even think I have to shield. Gholdengo can finish out this game for me, but Thunderbolt actually does not KO. I'm able to farm down and leave with the Dragon Claw loaded, so I was saving the shield for Gholdengo. Gholdengo didn't even need it, as Dragonite gets the win. We've got a familiar lead in the next match, Gholdengo versus Zekrom. I'm going to stay in this lead to start and just look to overfarm on energy here. Firing off the Shadow Ball, opponent throws on alignment, giving me a Hex for free. They're going to fire off the Crunch, I will respect it with a shield, build up to the Focus Blast, and then fire off the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball definitely going to hurt, opponent lets it through. I'm going to send in Kyurem, and my opponent responds with Metagross. Not what I was hoping to see, as Metagross is one of the things that Kyurem really cannot handle as a counter swap. Kyurem is going to be met with the Meteor Mash before I'm able to make it to my second move. Meteor Mash, of course, is going to get the KO, and now I'm down a shield, and I'm down switch advantage as well. I'm going to send back in Gholdengo, fire off the Shadow Ball, hoping my opponent is going to let this through. Shadow Ball does get the KO. Are they going to send in Zekrom? They are not. They're going to send in Kyogre. I make it to the Shadow Ball, and I'm firing off the Shadow Ball here. This will either deal a ton of damage or grab the first shield. It grabs the shield. In comes Dragonite. Kyogre farming up energy. Kyogre going to fire off a move. I'm actually going to save my shield here, letting this go. They go for the Surf. That's not going to do a lot. I keep farming. Opponent goes for the catch, and I do not fall for it, and that should be game over. I can Dragon Claw bait to get the shield, and then launch the superpower on good timing to guarantee the KO. So Dragonite proving to be a pretty effective teammate for Gholdengo. Gholdengo obviously has the Fairy Resist, and Dragonite can handle a lot of the things that Gholdengo doesn't necessarily want to see. Alright, hopping to the final match, Gholdengo into another Melmetal. We saw this lead before, and it's a pretty nice one for Gholdengo. Gholdengo farming up a ton of energy. They're going to be firing off a move here from the Melmetal. This Melmetal is running Flash Cannon, not wanting to debuff itself with a potential superpower. I'm going straight for the Focus Blast. Opponent respects it with a shield. That is definitely unfortunate. I'm able to make it to a Shadow Ball. This is not going to one-shot, but it's definitely going to hurt, and I'm able to grab both shields from my opponent. That is very nice. At this point, I think I just let Gholdengo go. Flash Cannon is going to land. I'm going to send in Dragonite. Melmetal farming up a lot of energy. I'm going straight for the superpower, and they do not catch it. That is incredibly fortunate. Superpower is going to KO in the back. They have Dialga, and I'm going to send in Kyurem. Kyurem, not the best response to Dialga, but my Dragonite was debuffed, so I felt like I had to get out of there. Iron Head is going to get the shield. I'm going for the Glaciate. Glaciate will, of course, get that guaranteed attack drop. and deal some nice damage to Dialga. Dialga now in the red. Am I going to be able to farm down opponent? Not going to let that happen as they send in their final Pokemon, which is revealed to be Mewtwo. Glaciate going to land. Of course, get that guaranteed attack drop. Mewtwo firing off a charge move. At this point, with this low of HP, I'm just going to let this go. Psystrike lands. I should be able to outpace with my Dragonite, make it to the Dragon Claw. This will take care of the Mewtwo. Dialga is just too low of HP. Down goes Dialga, and that is a good game. And now some final thoughts on level 50 Gholdengo in the Master League. First off, I think the typing is incredible. Ghost plus Steel, such a cool combination. And taking close combat from a move that hits for super effective damage to a move that's resisted is pretty awesome. I will say, however, the charge moves are a bit expensive, and Hex, not my most favorite fast move ever. So while I do think it definitely has some play, especially into, like, let's say a Zacian and Dialga core, overall, I would say more often than not, this is probably going to end up being more of an off-meta pick than a pick that fundamentally changes the Master League meta. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you is always to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.